could you run out of the house like that just because my dad was a little mad? Don't you have a spine?
What are you talking about?
Why did you even come to my parents' house? Didn't you know that you were here to meet them before we got married?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. But it didn't turn out the way I thought.
And oh my God, the look on your face! It was so embarrassing. You looked like a scared little puppy. I had no idea you could be so pathetic.
Are you not even a little bit worried about your fiancé? I'm kind of injured here, you know.
Oh, come on. That's nothing more than a scratch. You were shaking like a leaf. Weren't you embarrassed for yourself?
My face is already really swollen. My back, my neck, everything got smashed into that wall. I'm still in an incredible amount of pain. How can you say that this is just a scratch? Don't you even care about me?
Oh, just sleep it off. You'll feel fine in the morning.
And then he came after me with that baseball bat. I thought your dad was really about to kill me, you know?
The only reason he did that is because he thought you were insulting me. He was just trying to protect his daughter.
But I haven't done anything to hurt you. I have no idea why he reacted that way. It's not even like I'm the one who pursued you in the first place. You were always the one who wanted to go out with me.
Well, anyway, I'm very upset now. How could you do this to me? I thought you were here to convince my dad to let me marry you. And this is how it turns out? How are we supposed to fix this now? Please tell me how you think you're going to fix this.
Look, I don't have any idea how to fix this. I don't even know what I did wrong in the first place. I thought that I was ready to meet your dad, but I didn't know that he was an insane person. How was I supposed to know that he was going to beat the crap out of me like that when I just came by to say hi?
That's up to you to figure out.
Huh?
Just try to guess what my dad thinks of you now. Think about how much you embarrassed yourself in front of him the first time you ever met him. He was impressed at how well you took that beating, though. So I think that he'll probably end up being okay with us getting married.
What? You must be joking.
So it all kind of works out in the end, right? And you're so lucky to have me. You would never find a perfect, beautiful woman like me anywhere else in the world. You should be proud of yourself. You've done so well for yourself.
What has gotten into you?
You know what they say, right? Hard times make strong men. My dad was just taking the first steps and toughening you up.
Hold on just a second. Everything's happening so quickly. I have no idea what's going on. I can't keep up.
I guess you're just so happy and excited that it's getting confusing for you, huh? I can understand that.
No, that's not what I meant. I'm seriously reconsidering what's going to happen in the future now.
So yeah, about that. We'll have to decide the location and date for our wedding pretty soon. And of course, we'll need to involve my dad in all of those conversations too.
Wow. You decided all of that after I left, huh? Thanks, I guess.
Honestly, it's a lot easier without you. I was really glad that my dad was able to help me decide all the things that need to get decided. We don't really need your input.
So, I guess I never realized that you were such a daddy's girl. Have you always been like this?
Yeah, I've always loved my dad. What's wrong with that? But when I saw him beating the crap out of you like that, I thought he was even cooler than I ever have before. You could really learn a lot from him, you know?
I can't believe you're saying this after the madness we all just witnessed. But now I can see the truth of our situation. You and I have very different values.
Well, of course we're not always going to see eye to eye. We're two different people. Are you maybe jealous of my dad a little bit?
Why would you ever think that?
Because I just told you how cool and tough I think my dad is. Why wouldn't you be jealous? He's basically the ideal man in my eyes. But it's okay. It's not like I can marry my dad or anything.
Oh my God. My head's starting to hurt even more now.
Just take some Tylenol and get some sleep. I'm telling you, you'll definitely feel better in the morning. Trust me, just sleep it off.
It's not like I'm drunk and I'm going to have a hangover or something. I've suffered a terrible beating. For now, I think I should head to the hospital. My entire body is in pain. There's no way I can take this all night.
Oh my God, your injuries aren't even that bad. I can't believe you're going to the hospital. You're being a drama queen.
No, seriously. I'm in a lot of pain.
You know, maybe you aren't cut out to marry me after all.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Well, anyway, whenever you do feel better, you should come back by my parents' house again, okay? We need to celebrate our upcoming wedding.
My name is Jim, and I'm 28 years old. I've always loved kids, so I work as a kindergarten teacher. I work at a public school in my neighborhood, and I really love it. And that girl I was just talking to, she works at a coffee shop. She's my fiancé. She and I met at our part-time job back in college. I was attracted to the weird air of mystery she had about her. She took a shine to me straight away and pursued me pretty aggressively. I had never had a girl treat me that way before. Anyway, we started dating, and before I knew it, we had been together for 7 years. I finally went by her parents' place for the first time. I was there to ask her dad for her hand in marriage. And for whatever reason, he beat the crap out of me. I was really badly injured after that night. Plus, Taylor's attitude completely changed after that night. She had always been so nice to me before, but she started treating me terribly. Her dad really thought of himself as a big deal. He was some sort of regional manager for some big company. He was one of those guys who really thought that it was his way or the highway. There's no way in his mind that he could ever be wrong about anything. Neither Taylor nor her dad seemed to think that he had done anything wrong. So of course, neither one of them ever made any attempt to apologize to me. But what happened next was even crazier. Both of them started to run amok, even more than they had on that night.
I can't believe how stupid you are. Don't you know anything about the world?
What are you talking about now? I didn't do anything wrong.
The dowry! What do you mean you didn't do anything wrong? Since we're getting married, you better hurry up and pay it. You owe my dad at least $50,000.
Look, I hate to break it to you, but I have no plans on marrying you anymore.
What are you talking about?
My feelings for you are gone after what happened. What did you think I would do? I couldn't believe the way you just excused your father's behavior like that. He's clearly not a sane person. Why would you think that behavior is okay? I knew then that there's no way we would ever be able to work out.
So you're saying you're throwing our whole relationship out just over that? And we're not getting married?
Yeah, sorry. I have to put my own safety ahead of anything else. You understand that, right?
I can't believe you would come all the way to my parents' house to ask my dad for my hand in marriage and then just give up like this. How dare you? It's not like you have any reason for giving up on marrying me either. Why are you doing this?
You know exactly why I'm giving up on our marriage. I fear for my life if I ever have to be around your father again. When I went to the hospital, they told me at the ER that if I had just hit my head a little bit harder, I might have been dead.
Oh my God, stop being such a drama queen. I never realized you were so pathetic before. You got a lot of nerve treating me like this, you know? I never expected you to just toss me aside like this.
What? Why wouldn't I break up with you after what happened?
I should have known how pathetic you are. After all, what kind of man works as a kindergarten teacher? That's a woman's job. I figured at least that job was stable, so it was better than nothing. I didn't think it would be a big problem marrying you because you would have that job forever.
Wait, so you're marrying me just because you thought I would be financially stable? Is that the only reason you were marrying me?
Yeah, of course. Didn't you know that? But it's not like you make that much money, right? I mean, teachers are never going to get rich.
I think I'm doing pretty well for someone my age. I don't know a lot of 28-year-olds with as good and stable a job like I have.
You know my dad makes 6 figures, right? How would you ever compare to him? You're never going to be able to make that kind of money.
Look, if money is really that important to you, why don't you go out and find some rich guy to marry then?
I mean, I really would like to do that. But you do have a really nicely shaped face. And the most important thing to me was that you don't have a mom.
What do you mean by that?
Don't you get it? Since you don't have a mom, I wouldn't have a monster mother-in-law to deal with. I'd say that was probably your best feature. No mom.
How can you say that?
But I think being raised by your dad kind of messed you up, didn't it?
What are you talking about?
Since you were raised by a single parent, you missed out on half the love you should have gotten as a kid. That's how you ended up being the trash that you are today. Oh well, too bad.
How dare you say that about my dad? He did the best that he could. I love my dad.
Anyway, my feelings for you changed all of a sudden, too. How can I still love you after I found out how pathetic you are? So I've decided I'm not going to marry you after all. You don't have to pay the dowry anymore, but you will have to pay me damages for all the emotional distress you're causing me by breaking off our engagement.
What in the world are you talking about?
See, this is why being raised by a single parent is a problem. You don't understand how relationships between men and women work. You completely messed up my whole life. You have to take responsibility for that. You stole 7 of the best years of my life from me. There's no way I can ever get them back.
I don't think I have any duty to pay you anything. I owe you nothing as far as I'm concerned.
Fine. You want to do it the hard way? Then we can do it the hard way. My dad injured his fist when he was beating the crap out of you. What are you going to do about that? You're going to have to take responsibility for that too, you know.
Are you out of your mind?
My dad is totally prepared to sue you. You better be ready. Like I told you, he makes 6 figures. He can afford a good lawyer. You might be completely ruined by this whole thing. You might live out the rest of your life as a homeless guy.
Why would you do that to me? You know how happy I am that I've finally been able to become a kindergarten teacher. Why would you do anything to take that away from me?
Look, if you don't like the sound of that, then you can go ahead and marry me after all. You need to apologize too, though. I think that's the only way you can save yourself from financial ruin at this point. You don't want to ruin your own life, do you?
You've got to be kidding me.
So anyway, I'm waiting at my parents' house. You better get that $50,000 and get over here right away. So I've been making some calls to your school. I keep telling them that I'm a mom of one of the kids who goes there. And I've been lodging tons of complaints against you.
Oh, I heard that the phone has been ringing off the hook with complaints about me. That was you after all, wasn't it? I should have known. The principal talked to me about it, and I was really surprised.
Well, it's all your fault. You only have yourself to blame. I told you to get over here with that money as fast as you could. But then you've still shown no signs that you're going to pay us what you owe us. And you haven't even tried to apologize to me either. How do you think you're going to get away with that?
I still don't see why I need to apologize to you. You can go ahead and stop asking me now.
I gave you 3 days, and yet not even a peep from you. Pathetic. So my dad and I talked things over, and we've decided what to do. We're going to be suing you after all. I hope you can afford a good lawyer.
Surely you can't be serious.
My dad's on his way to talk to his lawyer right now. He's going to submit a police report about how you injured his hand.
You know I already filed a police report too, right? Remember how I had to go to the ER after your dad beat me so badly?
You did what now?
I filed a police report. Why wouldn't I? What did you think was going to happen? I can't just let him get away with it like that. He beat me with a baseball bat. No matter how you look at it, I'm the victim in this case. He hasn't got a leg to stand on if this goes to court.
He was just testing you to see if you were worthy of marrying me or not. That's all.
No, sorry, it doesn't work like that. That's assault. He's going to have to pay for it. I even wore a nice new shirt for the occasion. Now it's covered in blood and I'll never be able to wear it again. So thanks for ruining that for me too.
Don't you understand how the world works? When you go to meet the woman you're going to marry's father, he might have to test you a little bit to see if you're worthy or not.
Look, if I had gone over there and told him that I knocked you up or something, maybe I could understand his response. But that's not the case at all. I did nothing wrong.
Well, why should he have to deal with a commoner like you anyway? I told you how much money he makes.
Look, I don't care how much money he makes. It doesn't give him carte blanche to violently assault people. I've talked to a lawyer too, and they tell me that 100% I am the victim in this case.
No way! No one would think that you're the victim in this case.
Yes, they absolutely will. I've already talked to a lawyer about it. So do you still think you're going to try to sue me? Plus, you admitted that you were only marrying me because I had a stable job. And because I don't have a mom, which was totally insane, by the way.
What's wrong with that? Everybody's got different priorities. Can't you understand that? Plus, I told you I gave you 7 years of the best time of my life. You owe me for that. I'll never get those years back.
You wasted my time, too. I gave you the same 7 years. And my life's probably more messed up by this whole situation than yours is anyway.
How can you say that?
After that beating I took, my face was so swollen I couldn't go to work. I had to take 1 week off so that I didn't scare the children. Everybody at work was kind of suspicious about why I would get beaten so badly like that.
Oh, whatever. Don't you get paid for like sick time or something anyway? You know, you're pretty lucky to have such a nice stable job like that with the benefits that you do.
You still don't seem to understand the seriousness of the situation. You should get in touch with reality. I'm going to be suing your dad for damages. I went to the ER and I have the doctor's reports. I have already spoken to a lawyer. There is no way that I will lose this case.
How dare you!
And I'm going to go ahead and sue you too while I'm at it.
Like I would ever pay you. What do I owe you for it?
Oh, you owe me all right. Let's start with how you've been calling my work and making fake complaints about me to get me in trouble. And then you admitted to me in writing that you were only after me because of my stable job. Plus, I know you were cheating.
What are you talking about?
I know everything. It really looks like you and your dad were just setting me up to try and get some money out of me. None of this is going to help your case in court. I know that you were cheating on me with some dude in a band. I guess he didn't have a stable enough job for you to consider marrying him though, huh?
You have no proof of anything. How dare you accuse me of that?
Oh, I've got evidence, all right. Why wouldn't I? I hired a private investigator to follow you after all. They saw you going to his apartment after gigs. I have plenty of pictures to prove that you were cheating on me.
Oh my God, I can't believe how pathetic you are. You idiot! You moron! You're nothing but trash!
Thanks. That really means a lot coming from you. And even my 5-year-old kindergartners can come up with better insults than that, you know? Way to go! You're not even as smart as a 5-year-old.
When did you start to suspect me? I thought I did everything just right so that you would never find out that I was cheating on you.
It was actually your mom who gave me the first hint.
What do you mean? Why would my mom do that?
I have your mom's number. She and I text each other sometimes.
What the hell? That's so weird.
It's not weird. She was worried about me after your dad went berserk and beat me up. That's when we exchanged numbers, and we've been texting each other back and forth every once in a while since then.
Oh my God, that's so gross. Why would you be sneaking around behind my back like that with my own mother?
Look, I know maybe this is none of my business, but how could you talk about your own mother like that?
You're right, it isn't any of your business.
Anyway, your mom had a lot of interesting stories to tell me. She told me about how you and your dad treat her all the time. Sounds like she has a really miserable life.
And how is that any evidence? It's just some lies that she's making up about us.
She's actually been gathering evidence against you guys for more than 10 years now. Were you really too stupid to realize that? She has all these photos of the bruises and the scrapes and the cuts that you guys have given her. And she even has audio recordings of you two attacking her. How could you do that to your own mother?
No! How could she do this to me? This is unbelievable.
Even though she's the one that's had to deal with you guys for so long, she was so worried about me when she saw it happen to somebody else. It brought tears to my eyes that even though she suffered so much at your hand, she still cared for me so much.
Whatever, crybaby. What's your point?
My point is, your mom and I are both taking out restraining orders against both you and your dad. That's for starters. Also, your mom tipped me off about your cheating, allowing me the time to gather the evidence I needed.
What was she thinking?
She saved me from making a huge mistake. She convinced me that I should completely give up on the idea of marrying you. I'm really grateful to her. It was a great opportunity for me to really think about what I want my future to be like.
I didn't really do anything wrong. I just wanted to enjoy the last fleeting moments of being single. What's wrong with that?
No, you definitely did something wrong. Plus, it seems like you were just trying to be like a con artist and get some money out of me by marrying me. I'm pretty sure that I can sue you for damages at this point.
You can't do that to me. I thought you loved me.
Past tense. Not anymore. I can't believe I have to say this, but you know I'm not the only one who's angry, right? Once I explained the situation to my job, they weren't happy with you either. You can't just call up a public kindergarten and make a bunch of false complaints. They're going to see what they can do legally to you.
Wait, what?
I told you the principal talked to me about all the complaints, right? I told her what was really going on. She said she wasn't going to let anybody get away with harassing one of her best teachers like that.
Oh my God.
And it sounds like your mom has finally gotten up the courage to divorce your dad, too. So she's leaving, too. And you can expect her to be taking both of you to court, too. After all, you both have a lot to answer for your behavior all these years.
Why should I care? I told you how much money my dad makes, right? He'll be able to pay any amount. It's like nothing to him at all. I guess he can bless a poor person like you with some of his money.
You're the ones who are about to be poor. Don't you realize how serious of a situation this is yet?
What do you mean?
We've already sent all this information to your dad's job. How do you think they feel about finding out that they've been employing the kind of person who would raise his hand against his wife all these years? Even if he's not arrested, I'm pretty sure that they're going to fire him.
No way. They could do that? They could really fire him?
Yes, of course they can.
Oh, well, that sounds really bad. How am I supposed to live without my dad's money?
What do I care? Live however you want. I don't think you'll be very happy, but again, why should I care about that?
This must be a nightmare. This can't be reality.
You have to accept it. There's no running from this.
This must just be some sort of trial that I'm going through.
What do you mean by that?
It's like I said, remember? Hard times make strong men. I'm going to come out of this even stronger. And I'll meet somebody 1,000 times better than you.
I don't know what you're talking about. The hard times are going to continue for a long, long time for you.
How could you say that?
I know what kind of people you and your dad are. You're miserable humans. Things are never going to change for you. They're never going to get better. Can't say I feel bad for you.
How dare you?
Have fun enjoying the rest of your time being single like you wanted to. I think it might last a long, long time.
Wait, you can't just cut me off like that. I need your help. What am I supposed to do?
Taylor's dad did get fired, just like I said he would. They told him to clean out his desk right away, and security escorted him out of the building to make sure that he couldn't cause a scene. And her mom really did end up divorcing her dad finally. She sued both Taylor and her father for damages. They're both going to be paying her off for a long time. And of course, I sued them too. I wasn't going to let him get away with beating me like he did. My school is also still trying to pursue charges against Taylor for criminal mischief. My principal really has my back. Taylor and her dad are both working some kind of part-time job somewhere now. They're really struggling to pay back all the money they owe. I heard they're struggling to make ends meet at all, actually. I think things are just going to get even harder for them in the future, though. Taylor's mom always took care of all the housework for them, so they have no idea how to handle it. Apparently, their house is like a junkyard now. They're basically living in a landfill. They're too poor to even afford a microwave at this point, too. They leave frozen foods out in the open to thaw out so they can eat them. I guess they're still alive, at least. I finally completely recovered from my injuries after several weeks and am back at work. I really missed all of my students. Each and every day is satisfying and filled with smiles. I am so happy. I have still been talking to Taylor's mom from time to time, too. I suffered so much dealing with Taylor and her father for just a short time, but her mom was there for decades. But it sounds like she's really enjoying this new chapter of her life now. She just texted me the other day to tell me how much happier she is now. It was a crazy situation, but everything worked out all right in the end.
Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more content. See you next time. Hey, honey. So your brother called me earlier on in the day. I found that kind of weird because we normally never talk outside of family gatherings.
Oh, really? He did? So, did you pick up?
No, I didn't. I was busy with something at work when he called, so I only saw it this evening when I got home. I wonder why he would call me all of a sudden. Do you think something might have happened? I wanted to talk to you first before calling him back because it's so out of the blue for him to just call me like that. Did he get in touch with you today at all?
Well, the thing is, he tried to call you first and then ended up calling me because you weren't picking up.
Oh, really? Well, what was he calling about? What did he say to you?
Oh, nothing really. He was just talking about how things aren't going too well with his business these days.
I see. But why would he want to talk to me about that? It's not like he and I have the kind of relationship where we just call each other up to vent our frustrations, is it?
Well, the thing is, his landlord has suddenly raised the rent and he's struggling to pay it these days. And you know that they had a hard time scraping together the money for a shotgun wedding when his wife got pregnant.
Yes, I know about all of that. There's no need for you to give me a recap of their life story.
Well, now they're going to have to look for another place, but they don't have the money to put down the deposit for somewhere new. Especially because most places around here are asking for 2 months' rent as a security deposit these days. Why don't we help them out a little? After all, they have a kid and everything.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean, what are you talking about?
Well, it's not like we have that much money ourselves, is it? Our situation isn't exactly comfortable, and you know that. So how on earth are we going to be able to find the means to help out your brother when we don't even have the means to help ourselves? And besides, he still hasn't even paid back the money he borrowed from us last year. How can he even have the audacity to ask us for money after that?
Well, are you sure there isn't a way? How about we start reducing the amount of money we spend on ourselves? If we just live a little frugally for a while, we should be able to help him out, right?
Well, if you want to help that bad, why don't you take some of the things you have that are worth a bit of money and sell them? Like some of your games or some of your old laptops.
But collecting that stuff is my only hobby. And anyway, selling them isn't going to get us that much money. It wouldn't be enough to help him, that's for sure.
Well, what's more important to you? Your hobbies or our day-to-day life? Because one of them is going to have to go down the drain if you want to help your brother that badly. Instead of being ridiculous, why don't you just go and tell your brother that we can't help him right now, and that's that. It's better to tell him straight sooner rather than later so that we don't give him any false hope. Hi, Ben. How are you? Long time no see. Where's your wife? Did she not come today? She must be quite busy then, huh?
Well, I guess because she works shift work, she doesn't have normal schedules like the rest of us. So it's to be expected that her free time doesn't line up with ours.
Still, it would have been nice to see her.
Well, she doesn't have time to do anything except work and look for houses these days. We don't have any time to waste, otherwise we're going to be homeless. And we can't have poor little Jensen without a warm bed to sleep in at night.
Oh, I see. It must be hard on the two of you. You poor things. You know I would help you out if I could, but your old mother is as strapped for cash as always. Hey there, Jensen. You can't run screaming around the restaurant like that. Come here to Auntie and let's eat together.
Why would you yell at the poor kid like that?
I'm sorry, excuse me? I was hardly yelling at him. I was just telling him to come back over here because he had run over to the other side of the restaurant.
Well, he's a toddler, and toddlers run around. There's no need to get on his case about something so tiny. He's just a kid having fun, for goodness sake.
I wasn't getting on his case about anything, thank you very much. And even if he is a toddler, he really still shouldn't be running and screaming in a restaurant where people are trying to enjoy their meals. I really don't think there's anything wrong with telling him that he shouldn't run around and scream in a public place. Kids need to be taught these things when they're young, otherwise they won't realize that they shouldn't do them when they get older.
I guess you don't really know the ins and outs of raising a child since you don't have one of your own. Well, I guess with an attitude like that, it's no surprise that you haven't had kids.
Excuse me? What did you just say to me?
What's the big problem? I'm just stating facts at the end of the day. What's gotten into you? Just accept it and let it go.
Let it go? Did you really just tell me to accept it? Why should I have to sit here and listen to your brother talk to me like this?
You really are getting on my nerves here. Why are you being so loud and raising your voice when you just have the audacity to tell my son off for screaming? I guess you're the one who never learned how to behave in public places, huh? So don't go calling out my son for his behavior when you don't even know how to go on yourself.
I can't believe I'm hearing this. Ever since I arrived here, all you've done is pick at me and complain about this or that, and I've sat here and tried to endure it all. I was trying my best to smile and be polite. But what thanks do I get for it? Now, this is no way to behave towards your in-laws. You should be ashamed of yourself. Honestly, you can't deny that you don't exactly have a kind heart, can you? I tried to stay out of things between you and my kids, but when I heard you flat out refuse their request for help, I was just speechless. Why would you be speechless over something like that? Of course, anyone is entitled to ask for money if they're going through a hard time financially. But also, the people they ask have every right to refuse if they're not in a position to lend anyone any money. Just because someone asks to borrow money, it doesn't mean that the person they're asking definitely has to give it to them, does it? And how dare you make comments about my ability to raise kids?
Like I said before, I'm just stating facts.
But you all know that I've been struggling really hard with getting pregnant. So why would you bring up such a sensitive topic like that? It's like you're trying to provoke me.
Well, you're the one who provoked me first.
Whatever. I'm not going to listen to this anymore. Oh, and by the way, I'd also really appreciate it if you would pay back the money you borrowed from us over 6 months ago. If we're going to be pushing so hard to get money out of each other, then I might as well join the fray.
Unbelievable.
Hey, Avery! How are you doing? Oh, hi, Chloe. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well.
I'm just getting used to married life. Having to deal with my in-laws is more of a headache than I thought it would be.
I understand exactly how you feel. It can be a little overwhelming at first when the reality of marriage really starts to set in. There's a lot to get used to, even if on the surface it didn't seem like your life really changed that much. Anyway, what was it that you wanted to talk to me about?
Well, you know the hairdressers I always go to, right? Well, I went there to get my hair done today and it just suddenly made me think of you. I don't know why. Well, anyway, I thought that I would reach out and ask if you wanted to have dinner together tonight or something. What do you say? Would you like to buy me dinner tonight?
Oh, dinner tonight? Well, I think I'm probably going to finish work quite late today, though.
Oh, come on. Do you really need to be working that late? Just finish early and come out with me. We can have a girls' date together. It will be fun.
Okay, sure, fine. I'll see you at 7 p.m. in front of my office then.
Okay, great. I'll see you there then.
Oh, wow, this is a pretty expensive place, huh?
It's okay. I'll treat you this time. So don't worry about it. Eat as much as you like. This place has a really good 3-course set menu. So how about we order that?
Well, you seem to know this place well, so I'll go with your suggestion.
I am so full.
Oh, wow. How come you have so many bags with you?
Oh, well, I just came from doing some shopping in the area. I went to the big department store downtown and ended up spending hours in there. These days, the designer brands really are nailing it with presentation, you know. How can they make so many pretty things? Everything is just positively sparkling. So, of course, I simply had to just buy it all.
Yes. Of course.
Oh no! This is terrible! It looks like I must have lost my wallet in the department store somewhere. I'm so sorry, but would you be able to cover the cost of tonight's dinner?
I'm sorry, what? But how much is it?
Well, it's just under $300 per person, so around $600 in total. I'll head out to the car first, so you can come and join me when you're finished paying.
But, Chloe! Chloe, wait a second!
Thanks for the meal!
Oh, seriously? Did she really lose her wallet somewhere, or did she just do that on purpose to get me to pay for her? You're home late today. Did Chloe bring you home? I thought I saw her car outside. What's wrong? You just came back from having dinner out with your sister-in-law. Why are you sighing like that? Don't even talk to me about it. She said that she was going to treat me to dinner, so she took me to a high-end restaurant, but then when the time came to pay, she suddenly said that she lost her wallet and asked me to cover it instead. And do you know how much it was in total? $600! $600 just for one dinner! That money would cover our groceries for a whole month! Well, I guess she can pay you back at some point later on, right? Or you can just think of it as treating your own little sister to dinner. It's really not that much of a big deal now, is it? But if she had the money to go to an expensive hair salon and buy hundreds of dollars worth of designer clothes from the department store, then surely she should have had enough to pay for dinner as well. She really needs to get her priorities straight, though. If she has that kind of money, she should be moving to a nicer house. When I saw her place, it looked like it was about to collapse. Well, the area she's in hasn't been redeveloped in a while, and there are just a lot of old houses around there. I'm sure she has some kind of plan to get herself a better place soon enough anyway. Well, that's great for her. But if I'm honest with you, I do not understand her at all. Ugh, that felt like such a waste of money. Happy birthday, darling! Yes, happy birthday, Chloe.
Thank you so much, everyone. I really wanted my husband to be able to be with us today, but he ended up having to go away on a business trip. I can't believe he had to leave at a time like this. But oh well, it can't be helped. It's nice to be surrounded by family on your birthday anyway. It makes me feel nostalgic.
So your husband went on a business trip? I thought that maybe you two had a fight or something, since you came here on your own.
Oh no, we never fight. We're like the picture-perfect example of married bliss, you know? Well, it's just that business isn't going too well at the moment, and he has to put in the extra hours to make up for it. He's always off on some kind of business trip, working late, or even working at the weekend. Honestly, I never even get to see his face these days.
I heard that you guys are going to be moving house soon, though. Is that right?
Oh, really? You are?
Yes, we found a nice place that isn't too expensive, and we're planning on moving there as soon as we can. I'm sick to death of living in that old apartment that's basically crumbling under our feet. Honestly, that place is practically a safety hazard. I for sure wouldn't want to raise a kid in there.
Well, that's great to hear. I know that you've been quite unhappy in that place for a while now.
Now we've been married for almost 2 years, we're starting to seriously think about having kids. And we would need to move to a much bigger place in order to make it comfortable enough for any new arrivals.
That's a great idea. It's very sensible of you to think like that, sweetheart. Your current place is barely even big enough for the two of you. If you want to make room for a baby as well, you're going to need another bedroom at the very least. Oh, I'm so excited to have another grandchild to fuss over. I'm sure Jensen can't wait to have a cousin.
Hey, honey, the thing is, there's, something I wanted to talk to you about.
What is it?
Well, it's about Chloe. You remember how we talked about the fact that she's going to be moving soon, right?
Yes, I do remember. Why are you bringing that up all of a sudden, may I ask?
Well, it will be her first time buying, since they've been renting this current place. And I was thinking that it would be good for us to help her out a little.
I'm sorry, what? What are you talking about? You mean that they didn't own that house and have been renting this whole time?
Why on earth would they buy that crumbling old house in the trashy part of the city? They were just renting while they tried to get on their feet.
But since she's always going to the most expensive neighborhoods in town to get her hair done and go shopping, I was under the impression that they had a decent amount of money. So I think it was only natural of me to assume that the house was theirs, don't you agree?
No, it wasn't. They have been renting.
Wow. I had absolutely no idea that was the case. How do you want to help her out then? Did she say she wanted to receive a housewarming present or something? What did she say she wanted?
No, it's not that she wants a present. It's, well, she asked if she could borrow $15,000 from us since she and her husband don't have enough money saved to do the move on their own.
I'm sorry. What did you just say?
It's just that they were renting for so long that they weren't really able to save up, and if they want to buy, they need a little extra cash. Let's just help them out, just this once. I am the older brother at the end of the day. I feel like I should do something for my younger siblings.
Listen here. $15,000 is no small amount of money. If they need that much money, they might as well look for somewhere cheaper instead of asking us to help them.
It's just a small fraction of the total cost when you think about it, though. And that apartment they've got lined up is a steal. They're not going to find anything as good for that price. They were only just able to secure it, and if they don't get that place, then they'll have to go back to renting again.
Well, if they can't afford to move house right now, they shouldn't be doing it right now, quite frankly. They should just stay where they are and carry on saving until they can actually afford to buy a place of their own.
But they're preparing to have a baby soon. This is probably the most savings they're ever going to get. They'll have a lot of expenses to worry about once the baby comes along, so why don't we just give them a helping hand, huh?
Again, if they can't afford to have a baby right now, then they shouldn't be having one. It's as simple as that. I'm sorry, but you're just going to have to tell them no.
But I can't.
What do you mean you can't?
Well, the thing is, Chloe called me and said that they don't have enough money to put the deposit down on the house, so I had better get her the money as soon as possible. She just said that and didn't wait for me to say anything in response. It wasn't really a request or anything like that. It didn't really sound like she was going to take no for an answer.
So what you're saying is that your sister didn't ask you for $15,000. She demanded that you give it to her. Is that right?
Well, that's not exactly how I would put it.
I really can't believe this. If you can't say anything to her, then I will. Why do you let your younger siblings walk all over you like this all the time? Are they holding something over you or something? Every time they demand something of you, you do it without question, as if you're the awkward nerdy kid at the mercy of a high school menace.
No, it's not like that. It's just that I feel really sorry for them. I feel especially sorry for Chloe. If she had married strategically instead of marrying her first ever boyfriend, she wouldn't be living in such a nasty place. But she's too sweet and innocent, you see. She didn't want to be looking around at other guys. It just had to be her innocent sweetheart for her. Because they're struggling so much financially, I feel like as her older brother, it's my duty to step in and do something.
If she'd married with calculations in mind, she probably wouldn't have gotten married at all. I mean, with her spending habits, it's not like her family background is great, nor is her job, to be honest. She's just a freelancer who occasionally does some artwork, and it doesn't even seem like she's doing much of that lately.
Well, whatever the reason, she's been struggling to get by ever since she got married, and I'm proud of her for trying to do something to better her situation.
Well, you should only be proud of her when she gets the money to make the move together herself. I'll tell her that we're not giving her the money, so call her right now and put her on speaker, okay? I, for one, am not going to let myself be pushed into submission by your little sister.
Oh, but please can't we just help her out? Hello?
Oh, hey, Harry. Did you get the money?
Well, the thing is...
Hi, Chloe. It's me, Avery.
Hi, Avery. Have you still not managed to get the money together yet? You need to hurry up. I'm kind of in a rush here, you know.
I don't care whether you're in a rush right now or not. I can't believe that you have the audacity to demand that we give you money when you know full well that we don't have any money ourselves.
What do you mean?
Harry's business isn't going too well these days either, and I'm working extra hours to scrape by. We are by no means in a stable financial situation right now. So I'm sorry, but it's going to be a little too difficult for us to loan you as much as $15,000 right now, I'm afraid.
Did Harry not tell you what he was planning to do?
No, he did not. What are you even talking about?
He agreed that he would be happy to get out a loan using your apartment as collateral and then lending me the money you got from the loan. That's what I told Harry to do, so I don't know why he hasn't mentioned it to you yet. It doesn't matter if you don't have any money. Just use the house as collateral and take out a loan. It's really not that hard, so I don't know why you're making such a fuss.
But Chloe, I told you that was going to be a little difficult.
Excuse me, what did you just say? Chloe, you do realize that this house is mine, right? Harry didn't contribute a single penny towards it. It was bought entirely with my money and a little money my parents contributed to help me out. It's in my name, so only I can go and get a loan out from the bank using this as collateral. Harry doesn't have any rights to it. And there's no way that I'm ever going to be agreeing to this crazy loan suggestion.
But does any of that really matter? You're going to keep on living with Harry anyway, so why is it really important whose name the house is in? We're all a big family here, aren't we? So it's only natural that we should help each other out when things get tough, don't you think? So why don't you just go and get that loan out for me?
Yes, of course family members should help each other out when things get tough. But when have you ever helped us out in a pinch before?
What did you just say? Well, of course I would have helped you out if I had the means to. It's just that my situation at the time wasn't great.
Well, that's fine. When your financial situation isn't great, people shouldn't be expecting you to help them out. Which is why I'm telling you that our financial situation isn't great right now, so you shouldn't be expecting us to help you. We are not in a position to just be lending you $15,000 like it's nothing. It's not even like Harry and I bought this house together or anything. This house is 100% mine, and under no circumstances will I be getting out a loan and using it as collateral. No means no, and I'm not going to budge on that, okay?
Why do you have to be so annoying? Harry, did I or did I not tell you to get me $15,000 by next month? No matter what? If I don't get everything sorted by then, we could lose the house. Did you not understand me? How am I supposed to get all of that money together by myself in time? Honestly, I told you to choose wisely when picking a wife. Why did you have to go and marry her of all people?
What did you just say? Now look here, let me give you a piece of my mind.
I think she hung up on us.
As for you, what do you think you're doing? How can you just stand there and listen while your sister says things like that to me?
But I did tell her that it probably would be a little hard for us to get the loan out with the house as collateral.
You told her, but…
Well, she just keeps on pushing and pushing. And to be honest, if you really think about it, is it really the worst thing in the world? I mean, if we get the loan out, she will just pay us back eventually. And as she said, does it really matter whose name the house is in when we're going to keep living here together anyway?
I really can't believe this. Okay, so let's say that we do get the loan out and lend her the money she supposedly needs. Do you really think she's going to pay us back? Do you think she has, or ever will have, the means to pay us back? She seems to be incapable of earning money. And when she does have it, she blows it instantly on some material thing she never even needed in the first place. Why on earth would I trust that someone like her would pay me back and risk putting my house on the line? I am not lending her those $15,000. Not under any circumstances. Whatever she says, whatever you say, or whatever the rest of your family says to try and persuade me, I will absolutely not be swayed. I don't want to hear it. So don't even bother talking to me about it, okay?
Okay, fine, I understand. I'll try and talk to her about it. Honey,
what is it?
This week is the deadline for Chloe needing the money. Are you really not going to lend it to her? Have you really made up your mind to be like this? But she said that she would definitely pay the money back. She promised, even. Obviously, she isn't going to be paying it back straight away, because she's still not in the best financial situation. She said she would pay it back bit by bit. A little sum of money every month. So let's just help her out, okay? I just feel so bad for my poor little sister.
Oh yeah, and how much is she going to pay back each month? $5? $10?
She said she would pay around $100 a month.
$100 a month? Is this some kind of joke? Doing the calculations right now, do you know how long it's going to take her to pay us back that money? 12 years! It's going to take a whole 12 years! Did you hear me? We might have lost the house by then. And then what are you going to do? Do you want your sister to get a nice house so bad that you would be willing to make yourself homeless? Nobody is that good of a big brother. And I told you before, didn't I? I thought I made myself very clear. I don't want you bringing this up to me ever again.
But I still just feel really sorry for her. And she swore down that she would definitely pay us back, so please, let's just help her out a little. What do you say? It doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to lose the house just because we put it up as collateral to get out the loan. We're definitely going to be able to pay it back. I'm sure of it.
I can't believe that you're fighting for this to the end. So you feel this sorry for your poor little sister, but don't you feel at all sorry for me? I have to put up with hearing this nonsense from my husband constantly. If you're just going to keep on with this nonsense, don't even bother opening your mouth to talk to me. If I hear you say a single word about this ever again, you and I are over. Do you understand me?
How could you say something like that so easily? How could you be so cruel as to threaten me like that?
I see that you were thinking that bringing this up in front of your family would make me cave out of fear of looking bad in front of them. But that isn't going to work, I'm afraid. I have no intention of backing down. I am sticking to my guns.
Now listen here, Avery. Don't you think you're insulting our family a little too much here? There's a limit to how much you can belittle someone and get away with it, you know?
Oh, you think it's insulting for me to say no when your sister demands me to give her money? I think the fact that she's demanding for money I don't have is more insulting. Don't you agree?
You shouldn't live like this, you know. You shouldn't be so cold and cruel towards the people who accepted you with open arms as a member of the family. Don't you realize that you're the only one who's going to suffer if you decide to alienate us all with your behavior?
I have had enough of you, Ben. I am sick and tired of you thinking that you can talk to me like you're telling off some kind of misbehaving child. Who do you think you are? What have you done for the sake of this family that makes you think that you can get up on your high horse and berate me like this? Huh? If you feel so strongly about this, then why don't you loan your sister the $15,000 instead? Huh?
Well, where on earth would I get $15,000 from?
Well, you'll get out a loan and use your house as collateral, of course. After all, your sister is definitely going to pay it back because she promised. And she is not the kind of person who would ever make shallow, empty promises and go back on her word now, is she? Honestly, I have never seen such a ridiculous family as this one.
How dare you talk about our family like that?
I really do not want to ever see you or any of your awful family members ever again. Do you hear me? I'm going home right now. Whether you come running after me or whether you stay here to console your crying family members, I really couldn't care less. Do whatever you want at this point.
Honey, wait up. You can't just leave like this. Honey, what's going on here? I came home from work today and there were strangers living in our house. They said that they just moved in. What is the meaning of this?
Ah, so you've been to the house already? You finished work early today, huh?
Harry came to try and reconcile with you. But imagine how shocked he was when he saw that there were people he didn't even know in his home. What is even going on here?
What do you think? Take a look for yourselves and try and put two and two together. Surely you're not so dumb that you can't understand the situation playing out right in front of you.
They asked you what's going on here.
Well, if you keep insisting, I guess I'll just have to explain to you. I figured that as long as that house was there as possible collateral, you would all keep bothering me about it. So I decided to just sell it. Not like any of you ever had any claim to it in the first place, mind. After all, it's my house that I bought with my money. I was able to get some new people to take the place really quickly, so I took the day off work and moved out while Harry was at work today. Now, do you understand what's going on? Did you really need me to spell it out for you like that?
What? How dare you do such a thing to my son? Yeah, how could you have done something like this? Hurry up and put things back to how they were before. Or at least tell me the address of the new house.
And why on earth would I tell my new address to the likes of you? You're crazy to even be asking that of me.
Wait, what do you mean by that? Then what am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to live?
What do you think? I packed up all your stuff and had a removals company take it over to your mom's house. Whether you want to live there with her or not is none of my business, quite frankly. Oh, I had the divorce papers sent over as well. So you would better sign the papers so we can get this done quickly, okay? If you don't want to make this easy for me, then I won't make it easy for you either. So you had better be prepared. I'll tell all your friends and coworkers about what you tried to make me do and ruin all of your reputations. How will you feel when everyone you know finds out you're a pathetic little man who lets his sister push him around to the extent that it costs him his marriage?
Hey! I didn't do anything, thank you very much. How dare you accuse me of forcing my own brother to do anything?
It's not an accusation when I have proof of what you said. I recorded all the conversations we had where you were making crazy demands and calling me names. I recorded the call in which you say that you want me to get a loan using my house as collateral just to finance your move. I also recorded the conversations in which both Ben and Laurel are cursing me out. So if you value your precious little family reputation, I wouldn't try and say anything else to me if I were you. I have no intention of ever having anything to do with a single one of you ever again. You're all sad and pathetic people, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your lives making each other miserable.
Are you really going to do this? Why do you have to be so petty and childish about the whole thing?
Oh, shut up. I don't want to hear a single word more of what you have to say. So if you need to communicate with me, please do it through my lawyer from now on. Ugh, you're so irritating. I hope you and your siblings live happily ever after. Make sure you take good care of them like the amazing big brother you are, okay?
Honey, wait. Things can't just end like this. Are we really getting divorced like this? Why are you doing this to me? How do you expect me to get by now?
My husband certainly didn't make the divorce easy. He dragged his feet on every possible thing, refusing to sign the papers without stirring up drama at every turn. In the end, I had no choice but to send the recordings I'd saved of him and his family saying some truly appalling things to everyone he knew. His friends, his coworkers, even his old college buddies. It didn't take long before they were treated like social pariahs, cut off from the circles they once used to look down on others. I'd heard they were practically hiding out in embarrassment, barely able to show their faces around town. That was just the start of their downfall. I also heard through the grapevine that my sister-in-law, the one who'd been pestering me nonstop to take out a loan so she could buy herself a new house, finally gave up on that dream. She'd begged everyone in the family to back her financially, but it turns out they were just as selfish as she was. Not one of them was willing to stick their neck out for her, and they left her living in the same tiny, crumbling apartment as before, far from the lifestyle she once bragged about. But that wasn't quite the end of her story. We'll come back to that later. The entire family operated with the same level of entitlement, constantly throwing around that "we're family" line to guilt-trip me into things I didn't want to do. It was as if they saw me as nothing more than a convenient outsider they could manipulate whenever they needed a favor. They had no qualms about taking advantage of my generosity until I finally woke up to the reality of who they were. I put my foot down, and ironically, watching them scramble when I refused to play their games was both liberating and satisfying. And then there was the discovery that my sister-in-law's husband hadn't really been going on business trips. It turned out that he and my sister-in-law had been fighting constantly, and he was simply avoiding her as much as he could. I found it almost poetic that she, who once claimed to have the perfect marriage, was facing the cracks in her own life. It seems that my sister-in-law's behavior was the final straw for her husband, and he ended up divorcing her as well. Frankly, she got off easy compared to what she'd put me through. The endless demands, the way she tried to gaslight me into thinking I owed her something, the constant drama. Karma really has a way of coming around. Now I hear that 2 of the 3 siblings are back living with their mother, after my sister-in-law was kicked out by her husband as well. The house that once seemed so full of pride and unity is now a battleground of clashing egos, where each of them is clawing for control and approval from a mother who isn't willing to lift a finger to help them move forward. The idea of them being stuck under the same roof, day after day, gnawing at each other's nerves and exposing each other's flaws, brings a smile to my face. They finally got a taste of the chaos they tried to pull me into, and there's a strange satisfaction in knowing that they're now the cause of their own misery. This is the end of the story. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more content. See you next time.
Here, have this.
What is it?
It's something for you. I wanted you to have it. I could not give you anything. I wanted to let you know how much I care about you. I didn't even know about this myself. You're really doing a lot here to be nice to Kathy. I don't think it's that much. It's just what you're supposed to do these days. I want to be kind to my daughter-in-law. I'm getting old, and I don't want to seem like I'm getting all mean in my old age. Don't you think this is the right thing to do? You're going to have a child, and you've got a lot to think about. I'm just trying to help you out. I don't want you to be worried about us. We don't need your help. I don't want you to be stressing yourself out thinking about us. What's inside? What did she give you? Is it some money? My mom doesn't even give me any money, so you're really lucky to get that. What is it? Let me see. Wow. I think it's going to be a lot of money. Just what we need.
Thanks a lot for doing this for me. It's really thoughtful of you to help me out like this. Is it really the right thing for you to be giving me money? Shouldn't we be giving something to you?
You don't need to say thanks for this. I just wanted to help you out, and it's really not too much for me. Open it up and let's look inside. What is it?
Oh, what is this?
You don't know? I got the idea from going to church. I know you don't go, but it means a lot to me. I wanted you to know what married life was going to be like. You need to know what's important.
Oh, I see. That's nice of you to do this. You clearly think about us a lot.
I wrote it all down myself. It took me a long time, but I think it's worth it for you.
Thank you so much for this. It's going to be helpful for me.
You don't look too happy. What's going on with this expression on your face? Are you disappointed? You should really be happy about what I'm trying to do for you here.
It's fine. I just wasn't expecting it. This is the first time in my life I've had something like this as a present. I wasn't expecting something religious from you.
Does it make you feel strange? It really shouldn't do. You should be so happy to get this. The pastor at our church is not like other pastors. He really knows how to teach us well.
Thanks so much for this. You've really put a lot of thought into this. It's a good idea. I'll have a look at it later and see what I think of it. I might be able to learn some things from this.
You don't need to thank me that much. Just read it and learn from it. Well done, Mom. You've really done well here. You just have to see this from our perspective. We don't go to church, so this kind of thing is a bit comical to us. It might mean a lot to you, but for us it doesn't have that much significance. Why don't you go to church? You need to go there and learn about God. You used to come to church with me when you were younger. Don't you think it would be nice if you went there again? I don't believe in God, so I don't go. I don't mind the idea of going, but it doesn't really mean anything to me. I'll let you go and get on with that. If it makes you happy, then I'm not going to stop you going. You do believe in God! You've just forgotten about it because you were busy with other things. I know that one day you're going to realize that you were wrong and you're going to come back and be with God. I'm waiting for this day to happen, and the sooner the better. It would be nice if you were to bring Kathy, too. I want to see you both there, hand in hand.
Oh, really? Is that what you want?
If you've read what I've given you, then you might be able to understand it a little bit more.
Oh, you think so? It's not going to be hard for you to understand. Just read it and see what you think. I'll do what I can. You're going to have a cesarean section. Do you need that? There's nothing wrong with you. Why do you need to do that? Why are you against it? The doctor told me to do it, so I'm going to go through with it. I'm not going to make these decisions on my own. I'm going to take the doctor's advice. I've been hurting all day, so I don't want to face any more pain. You should be able to do this without the help of the doctor. You don't need a special operation. You're just being stupid. When I gave birth to my son, I didn't have any painkillers and I didn't need a cesarean section. I just got on with it and it was all done very quickly. What are you trying to say? This isn't your birth, it's my birth, and I'm going to do what I want to. You're going to be the first person in this family who ever had a cesarean section. Are you even a woman? What kind of a woman can't have a child? What are you trying to say here? This is all so ridiculous. I'm not going to do what you want me to do. I'm going to do what's right for me, so please leave me alone and mind your own business. This is my business. It's my grandchild we're talking about here, and I want to make sure things are done right. There's a small chance that they do things wrong, and I want to be here to give my opinion. I know all about these things. You don't need to get involved with this. You don't know what you're talking about, so please back off. We don't want any problems, so leave it out. It's not going to cause me any long-term problems, so I don't know why you're against it. I'm not being pessimistic. I'm just trying to be realistic with you. I want this to work for you, and I want it to be natural. You don't need this to be done. I think the doctors might be pushing this onto you. Did you remember what I told you? Did you remember those things I tried to teach you from the Bible? I didn't really have the time to memorize them. Sorry about that. Why didn't you have any time? What were you doing? I wrote some things down on paper for you. I was expecting you to read it and remember it. Are you really trying to tell me that you didn't remember it at all? If you listened to me and you read the Bible, you would know what to do. A natural birth is the best thing. It's how God meant it to be. I don't think now is the time or the place for us to be talking about this. We just need to get on with things and let the doctors do their job. It might be best if you just let them do what they need to do. You don't want to listen to me. You think you're too good for my thoughts and opinions. This is not the right way to treat an older person like me. I've got a lot of experience in life. I know what I'm doing. I don't want to have this conversation right now. It's causing me a lot of stress, so please leave it alone. How about we talk about this later? Would that be a good idea? You're just trying to avoid talking to me. When are you going to be leaving the hospital? I'm going to go to the afterbirth center and then I'll be coming home. I think it's going to take about 2 or 3 weeks. Afterbirth center? Why do you need to go there? It's another waste of your time and money. Why do you need to go there? You're just giving birth. It doesn't need all this time in hospital. Are you okay? You're acting a bit strange right now. I'm fine. You're the one with the problems. You don't need to waste all your money in places like this. They're just trying to get more from you. Is this really the right thing for you to be saying when I'm giving birth? Do you really have to give your opinion about everything? Do they not teach you these things in church? I need to do my best to look after myself, and that means doing what the doctors want. They know best, and I'm going to do what they tell me to do. Who are these people anyway? What did they say to you? What's going to happen to you if you don't go to the afterbirth center? Are you going to get sick? I don't think so. I don't know what to say to you anymore. They just want your money and you're stupid enough to hand it over. Whose money is it anyway? Is it yours? It's David's money, isn't it? It's both of ours. He's doing overtime so I can go to the afterbirth center. We're both happy about it, and we don't want you getting in the way. We're not wasting your money, so I don't know why you're angry. You're still going to be wasting a lot of my son's money on this. You've been married for all this time, and he's still doing whatever you want him to do. He really needs to stop doing that. How about you stop being like this? What do you mean? I'm just telling you what you need to hear. I know you really care about me, but I don't want to sit here listening to your opinions. You've told me what you want to say, and I've politely said no to you. Now it's time to wrap this up and move along. We don't need to argue like this. This is my child and my body. I'm going to do what I want. It's okay for you to have an opinion, but at the end of the day, I'm in charge here, not you. What? How could you talk to me like that? You need to be more respectful to me. I don't want to listen to you giving me orders anymore. I'm not going to let you control me. This might be my first time having a child, but that doesn't mean you know better than me. No one is a perfect mother. I might be about to make some mistake, but that's just part of the process. I want you to focus on yourself and your own life. You need to leave me alone and let me handle this. I'm going to do this my way. You're going to do what? You're not going to listen to me at all, even though I have so much more experience than you.
Mom, don't you think you're making a bit of a scene here? Do you have to be so forceful about things?
Why should I just accept her opinion? She has decided to have a cesarean section, and she didn't ask me about it. She went ahead and didn't consult the family. Don't you think that was the wrong thing to do? Did she talk to you about this? Did she ask for your opinion?
No, she didn't. I didn't know anything about it. What's wrong with it? You don't want her to do that?
It can ruin a woman's body. You should avoid it at all costs. If we don't do what's right, then that can ruin my body too. We need to listen to the doctor and make the decision with great care. We can't just do something because it feels right. That's not the right way to go about this. Are you going to be happy if we lose the baby? Is that going to make you feel better? You're really going too far with this right now. Just let it go. Don't talk to me as if I'm some kind of criminal.
If you don't want to accept it, then please leave right now. This has gone on for long enough. I don't want to hear it anymore.
You're going to take her side in this. Are you trying to tell me that you think she is more important than me? You're going to listen to her opinion and not mine.
I'm not trying to be like that. I don't want to take sides here. We need to do what's right, and I think the doctor knows best. Let's go and get some food. I'll buy something for you.
She's really driving me crazy. Why won't she leave me alone? I wish she'd just disappear and never come back. All this stress can't be good for the baby.
I didn't know you were going to be coming here, but now here you are.
Your daughter hasn't left this place yet, so I wanted to come and see what was going on. Are you coming here every day? It must cost you a lot of money.
I feel like I have to come here to make sure she's doing okay.
If that's what you want to do, then go ahead and do it. I hope this isn't going to turn into an argument again. We're in the cafe right now, so we don't want a big scene in front of all these people. Let's try to be nice to each other and not cause a fuss. I don't care what other people think. I'm only thinking about myself. I don't care if they want to look at us. That's up to them. What do you think about this, Helen? Who cares what others think? Honey, what about you? I'm right, aren't I?
I don't think we need to worry about what other people think about us. Let's just get on with this.
I'll say what I need to say, and you're going to listen to it.
What is this? What do you want to say? Is there a problem here? I'm not trying to cause any problems. Your daughter is part of our family too now. I care about her as well. This is just how we like to talk. If we have something to say, then we say it. We don't like to hold back. It's nice to be open and honest with people when you talk to them. You don't need to be put off by this. This is just how we are. I hope you can get used to this as time goes by.
I haven't said anything wrong. I've been perfectly polite, so I don't know why you have to explain yourself. David can't come here today, so I've come here to see Kathy without him. Why can't he come? He didn't tell me that he wasn't going to be here. Did something happen? He's had to go and have a rest. He's been working non-stop since you had a child. He's not had a chance to rest, so he's had to do it now. He really needs some time off to rest and unwind, otherwise he's going to burn out and we don't want that. I don't want him to be exhausted because he has to pay for you to come here. He's really running out of energy to carry on. He's doing this for you, so please be grateful to him. I didn't want you to come here, but you insisted, so we all had to go along with it. Thanks to this, my son is working like a dog, and who knows when this is going to end. I'm actually worried that he's going to drop dead. What are you talking about? Is this really a nice way to talk to me when I've just had a baby? I haven't done anything wrong. I wanted to come here for my health and the baby's. David was happy about this decision, so please don't go blaming me for this. If he's tired, then I'm sorry about that, but there wasn't any other way to do it. I think it's you that doesn't respect me, not the other way around.
Are you being serious here? Are you forgetting I'm here? This is not how you talk to people. Is this how you talk to her when I'm not here? Have you been doing this all the time? I'm not happy about this. You need to be nicer to people. There's nothing wrong with her. She's just overly delicate. Young people these days are like this. They get emotional too easily. She needs to learn to take a bit of criticism. It's going to be good for her. I don't want you talking to my daughter like this. She doesn't deserve this. She needs a lot of love and support right now, and she doesn't need you making these remarks towards her. I'd appreciate it if you were to change your attitude and your behavior.
Mom, you don't need to get so angry about it all. I can cope with this. I've got another present for you. Here it is. If it's going to be more Bible stories, then I don't want it. No, it's not that. Take it. Have a look. What is this? You've just had your first child, so I wanted to give you something. Can't you be nice to me for once instead of always trying to find a problem?
You should be giving her some money to help her during this difficult time.
Open it and have a look. Oh, look at this. I thought this was going to be really nice for you. It's really beautiful, don't you think? It's beautiful. I really like it. I'll look after it as best as I can. I don't want anything bad happening to it.
Wait a moment. What is this? Bible stories? What is this?
Don't worry, Mom. I can explain this to you later. Thanks for this. It was nice to see you again. I'm not feeling too good now, so I need to go and rest. I'd love to see you again sometime if you want to. It can be soon as well. As soon as I left the room, I went straight to a trash can and threw the present in there. I didn't want that present. I was just being nice to her because I didn't want to cause any trouble. I didn't want to have to argue with her about it, so I thought it would be better to be nice to her and just move on. She didn't give me anything useful. I wasn't expecting her to do so. I had just been through a difficult time and I didn't want to confront her about anything. The best thing for me to do is just let it go and pretend it didn't happen at all. I was feeling weak, so I didn't want to make things worse than they already were. I had to think about my mom, too. She was there and I didn't want to hurt her. I want her to be as happy as possible, so it's better not to fight. When are you going to get up and sort all this out? Are you just going to sit there and do nothing? I'm not feeling so good right now, so I want a little rest. I'd appreciate it if you didn't ask me to do anything. I just want to stay here for a while. At least you're not going to lose any weight if you just sit there like that. You need to be a bit fatter now you've got the baby to think about. You don't want to be too thin, otherwise it's not going to be good for your health. Now you're a mom, you've got more important things to worry about. I don't want you to get any thinner. That's just not important for you right now.
You're going to look a lot more beautiful now that you're a little bit fatter.
Thanks so much for saying this to me. It makes me feel a bit better.
On the other hand, if you don't look after yourself, then you might get ill. You need to focus on your health and your baby and make sure nothing goes wrong. If you want some medicine, then you can tell me and I can go to the pharmacy and get you some. But don't ask for anything too expensive. I don't want to be paying that much money.
What is going on in this woman's mind? What is wrong with her? If she doesn't want me to buy any medicine, then why did she bring it up? It's like she's doing this just to make me mad. I think she likes this.
I've spent a lot of money on my son. I want him to have a luxury life. I don't have that much money to spend on you, so sorry about that.
I don't need anything, so it's fine. You don't have to go and buy me anything. If I need something, then I'll get it myself. You can order things online these days, so I'll do that if I need something.
You're not being very grateful here, are you? You're supposed to thank me for the offer. Instead, you just act as if you don't want anything at all. There must be something you want.
I don't want to waste your money. If you don't want to spend on me, then I'm not going to ask for anything. You don't need to stretch your finances buying medicine for me. You just use that money on your son. That's fine with me.
You don't have any money to spend?
I've got some money. You don't need to worry about that.
It seems to me that you really haven't been planning for this very well. I just get the feeling that you don't know what you're getting yourself into.
Okay, thanks for your thoughts. I'm just going to go into my room now to feed the baby. You have a nice time and we can talk again later. I just need some time alone now. If you just let yourself out of the house, then that's fine. I don't have time to deal with you right now.
You need to be nicer to me. You don't take me seriously. I'm trying to help you here and you don't want to be helped. Sometimes I wonder why my son married a girl like you. You just seem to have no respect for your mother-in-law. I'll leave. I don't need you to look after me anyway.
What is it now? Is there something you want to talk to me about?
Have you been complaining about things? I know what's going on here. I can see it. I want you to be happy as part of our family, but you don't seem to want to do it yourself.
I'm really trying to have a happy life here. I'm trying to get along with you.
The baby is getting bigger and bigger, and I want to be a part of her life. I don't want anything to get in the way of that. I'm really worried about what's going to happen in the future. I want things to go as well as they possibly can, so we need to get along very well.
I don't want to fight with you, but you make it very difficult at times. You want to be in control of everything. You seem to find a reason to put your nose into everything, and it gets on my nerves at times.
I'm just trying to do my best for you and the baby. You should be more considerate to me. You've been like this ever since we had that disagreement about the afterbirth center.
I didn't want to argue, but you gave me no choice. I'm really trying to get along with you here, so please try to do the same for me. I'm hoping we can solve all these problems and move on and be nice to each other. I'm trying my best to understand you and what you're trying to get here. I don't want things to be bad between us, so let's try to get on with each other. That's going to be good for us and the baby.
It's nice of you to be so diplomatic towards me. I'm happy to hear this. I'm hoping we can get along better, too. I hope your mom and dad do the same. I don't want any more problems from them.
Do you have to bring them into it? They didn't do anything wrong.
You don't need to do a thing. I can deal with it. I'll sort it out. You just put all your effort into looking after the baby.
That's what I'm going to do. I spoke with David and he wants me to relax and look after the baby. He doesn't want me to do anything that might stress me out.
You think me and you can get along here?
What do you mean?
Are we going to keep fighting or are things going to get better? What do you want to happen? You married my son and now you're a member of my family. I personally think that you should do what I tell you to do, but you don't want to live like that. I wish you wouldn't have this attitude towards me.
Always trying to turn everything into an argument. From now on, I want you to do your best to listen to me and respect my opinions. I'm only trying to do what's right for you, and the sooner you see this, the better. I just get the feeling that you didn't like me from day one. I get the feeling I wasn't good enough for you. Did you want your son to have a nicer wife than me? Do I not live up to your expectations? I'm not going to lie. That might have been the case. Here we are, and I can't stop it now. We can't have everything we want in life. Sometimes we just have to compromise and move on. I'm really sorry I'm not what you want. I guess I'm just not good enough for you. So you agree with me here? The only consolation is that I don't like you either. If we don't like each other, then we don't really need to try and make things better. We can just accept it the way it is and try to avoid each other. You don't need to play too big a role in my life. That would be really nice for me. Less stress. I just don't think we're going to be able to get along with each other, so why try? I'm here for my son and my granddaughter. I'm not here for you. I don't want to hear this kind of talk again. If you want to make things better, then you can start by giving me some money. Sorry, what? You want money? Where did this idea come from? You've been using my money, so you need to give me something back. If we're not going to get along, then you need to compensate me in some way. Do you even care about me? I haven't been using your money. I've been using David's money. His money is my money. It belongs to our family. Don't you know this? It's not your money. It belongs to David. Stop making such silly claims. I'm not going to let you take that money. That's for me and the baby, not you. I don't want you taking any more of his money. You've used enough. You think this whole thing is going to be free for you? What are you talking about? What's gone wrong with you? He's my husband. This is what he's supposed to do. He has to give money to me. Who else is going to pay for the child? I can't work because I have to be at home. It's his job to pay. You're just young and you don't understand what's going on. In the future, you're going to realize that nothing in life is free and you need to pay for these things. I don't care if you have a baby. You're spending too much money. You need to give some of that money to me. I need it too. So you gave me some words from the Bible and now I have to give you some money? Is that how it works? Is that how we're going to trade? I'm not sure if it's a good deal for me, and I don't think David is going to agree with this either. You want me to go and get you something? A present? Just wait there a moment, and I'll go and do that now. What is it? What are you going to give me? Here it is. Have this. Open it and have a look. I know we've got off on a bad foot, but things might be able to improve. Especially if you keep giving me presents. There might be nothing to worry about if you're going to be nice to me like this. I'm glad you feel this way. You want me to open this now? Please do. Have a look inside. What is this? What are you playing at here? It's a packet of instant coffee. Why are you giving me instant coffee? I want money! What kind of a joke is this? You think this is funny? What are you playing at? It's nice. I got some, but I don't want to drink it right now. I can't drink coffee when I'm breastfeeding, so why not give it to you? I know you'll make good use of it. You can consider this as me paying you back for all the things you've done for me. Why not have it with some sugar? It'll taste really good. Have it now if you want. Do you want me to put it in the microwave? Have you really lost your mind? You think this is a good idea? I wanted money, not instant coffee. You think it's funny to play jokes on old people like this? Where did you get this idea from? Is that coffee not what you want? I could have a look and see if I've got a different brand. That might be a bit better for you. I am a bit clumsy with things like this. I have a hard time reading other people's thoughts. I thought that this was going to be a really nice gift for you, but you don't seem to be impressed. I'm sorry about that. I really tried my best. Go and get me something else. Money would be nice. This is not how to treat an old lady. You're supposed to spoil me with gifts. You really have a lot to learn if you're going to be a good daughter-in-law. I don't want you doing something like this again. You understand? Okay, let me get you something better. Look, I went shopping and I bought a lettuce. You can have this if you want. Is this going to be a nice present? You can put it on a sandwich. Are you losing your mind? Are you doing this on purpose? I don't want a lettuce. I want something high value. Something that fits my status. This is not enough. Are you really this stupid? If you have it with some meat, then it's going to be a really nice dish. It's going to be a luxury meal. Meat and lettuce. It's going to be good for your health, too. I know you care a lot about health. You're always asking me if I want some medicine. The best item for health is a vegetable. Who needs medicine when you've got lettuce? I'm about to lose it here. Why? Oh, is the lettuce too big for you? I can cut it into smaller pieces if you want. I'm not going to forgive you for this, and God isn't going to forgive you either. You've crossed the line this time, and I don't know if you can come back.
Did you argue with my mom again? That seems to be happening a lot these days.
No. What did she say? We had a nice time together. I don't know what she's referring to.
She seems angry to me. I'm sure something must have happened. Did you insult her or do something to make her mad? You told her you were going to give her some money and then you gave her instant coffee and lettuce? Did that happen?
It happened. You're not wrong about that. I was just giving something I thought might make her happy. I learned this from her. It's just the kind of present she would have given me. She likes to give me things that don't have much value, so I thought I'd do the same for her.
Why did you do this? What was the point of it? You're only going to upset her. There's really no need for it. Can't you try to be nice to her and do what she wants you to? There's really no need to wind her up like this. It's just going to make things worse.
Why should I change to make her happy? I didn't marry her. I married you. I don't want her in my life controlling me and telling me what to do.
You don't understand what's going on here. You need to do more to see the world from her eyes.
Sorry, you think I'm in the wrong here? You think I don't understand things? It's not me in the wrong, it's her.
It seems to me like you don't respect my mom. You really should do. It's just what you're supposed to do. My mom has done a lot for me, and we need to be nice to her in return. I don't want to see you being like this again in the future. I want you to change and be a nicer person. My mom is a normal person, just like us. She's not perfect, and you need to accept her for her flaws.
Have you said enough here? Are you just going to take her side in this? You're not even going to try and see what I'm seeing. You don't seem to even care about me or what I'm going through.
You're a mother now, and you need to start acting like one. It's not time for you to be playing silly games. Do your best to get along with everyone and don't cause any fights. I'm going to be really angry if you do this again.
If this is how you're going to treat me, then I don't know where this is going. I don't know what kind of a future we're going to have together if you're going to be like this.
I just want us to have a happy life, and if that means you need to change a little, then please do it. I don't want you arguing with my mom over this and that from now until the end of time. Change your attitude, please, and try to be a little bit nicer and more grown up.
If that's what you want, then I guess I'll have to do that.
Good. That's nice to hear. I'll go and talk to my mom about it. I'll tell her you're sorry and that you're going to change. So nice that we can get together like this and talk to each other. I'm hoping we're over the past and we're moving on into a nicer and more harmonious future. Now, what is it? Is there something urgent you want to talk to me about? I was busy, but I've made some time to be here with you two. Please, tell me what it is.
What is it? My son is busy and he's got things to do. Why do we need to meet here like this? It better be important, otherwise I'll be angry. David hasn't eaten. Are you going to buy him something? It better be something good.
Don't worry about that, Mom. I'm not that hungry. I can get by without.
I'm so sorry for making you two feel tired. I didn't mean to do that. I thought it would be better for us to meet in person to talk. I want to show my respect to you. I think this is the best way for us to say goodbye to each other.
Say goodbye? What do you mean by that? Why are we saying goodbye?
Is this another one of your jokes? Are you trying to be funny again? If you are, then please don't. This is not the time or the place for that. Have a look at this. I've got something for you. Why don't you open it up and have a look at it? Divorce papers? What's this?
What are you doing? Divorce? You want to leave me?
Are you surprised by this? I'm not. It's been coming for a long time.
We have a child together. You can't just go walking off and leave me. You've got to think about that. You really want to get a divorce? Why? What did I ever do wrong?
Do you have no sense of responsibility to your child? You just don't care, do you? You only care about yourself. Divorce? What are you going to do with your life now? I'm doing this for my future. I owe it to myself to walk away from you people. I don't want to live like this anymore, and I don't want to be a part of your family. I'm going to look after my baby all by myself. I don't need you two being part of my life. You've done nothing but cause me stress and pain, and this is going to be the end of it. I have to do this, and I'm not going to look back. I don't want my daughter to learn from people like you. I don't want her to grow up in such an awful family. What did you say? An awful family? Is that what you think of us?
Mom, don't shout too loud. I don't want other people to hear about this. Can't we talk about this? How about we go home and talk about it in private? We can work this out. You don't need to do something so rash.
I don't want to go back home with you. This is the end, and I don't want to talk to you again. We're going to say goodbye, and that's going to be it. I hope you can just agree to this and we can get on with it. I don't want a messy breakup if you don't mind. I know that God would support me in this. He doesn't want me to live with people like you. You should go to church and ask the pastor what he thinks about this. He'll tell you that you were wrong and I'm right. I'm sure of that. I warned you so many times and you just didn't listen to me. Finally, I've decided that I can't take it anymore, and I'm going on my way. Have you finished?
Mom, don't shout, please. Try not to make a scene.
Actually, I haven't said all that I want to say. There are a few more things. What is it? I just want you to know that I can't wait for you to agree to all this, and then we can all be on our way. I'm leaving now. Goodbye and so long. See you around.
Wait, don't just leave me like this. We can talk about this and work things out.
Your mom is getting high blood pressure. You need to see to that. You don't want it to get out of hand. If things continue to get worse, then she might have to go to the emergency room. Hurry up and sign the divorce papers, and then this can all be over with. I don't want to waste any more of my time debating these things with you. Leave me alone.
How can things be that bad? How can you be so angry about our life? I thought we were really going well together. I thought you were happy.
No, I'm not happy. You still don't even realize that. What's wrong with you? David didn't see what was coming until the very end. The whole thing was too much for his mom, and she started to feel unwell. I don't care. It's none of my business now. She didn't help me when I was having a child, so why should I try to help her now? I just left them there in the cafe. I didn't want to be with them anymore. It's all going to be in the past now, and I won't have to face them anymore. How could I live with those people in my life? I just want to be as far away from them as I can be. Amen to that. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time!